Alright, so I guess I'll start by introducing. So basically, I want to thank everybody for making it here to Grace Gallery today. I want to thank you guys, you guys, you guys. So, thank you everyone for making it. Grace Gallery is happy to have you all here to hear the presentation that we have by author from Toronto and, well, from St. Catharines, right? You're actually from St. Catharines or from Toronto? Or which? Oh, all right, I guess she's from both. So St. Catharines, Toronto area and Grace Gallery would like to welcome Evangeline Cain, or Vange Cain.
You have it. Hi guys.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. My name's Evangeline. People call me Vange. And I am born and raised in Halifax, Nova Scotia. When I was 28 years old, I came to Ontario. And I am a writer. And I wrote my first book when I was, I'm not going to say my age. I should say 2014, I wrote my first book. And I started with The Goddess Fly Away. And as I told you before, I wrote this book in 24 hours. There was a lot of mistakes in this book because I was really rushed, but the graphics in it are beautiful. And this book is all about meditations and mantras, and it has 30 days of devotions. And in the back as well, you can write how you're feeling each day, how each meditation helped you, how it didn't help you, and it helps you ground your energies. And I'll let you look at it if you like.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
No, stay here, please, be quiet.
And then my next book was Untitled Petals, which was showcased in his online introduction. Does anybody want to work with me for a second?
Sure.
Okay. There's a story in here that is absolutely beautiful. Would one of you like to read it?
Kathy's an excellent reader.
Thank you.
How long is it?
Not long.
I'm sure I'll read it out. So
I like to get people involved, and
so this
Yeah,
Goddess
yeah.
Rhea one.
yes,
You want me to read the whole thing? All right, I'm going to read half and you read half. How's
you
that?
got this.
Yeah.
Show me what you're working with.
Okay. Goddess Rhea was the daughter of Goddess Gaia, the mother who ruled the earth and the heavens. Goddess Gaia was able to birth new creations and bring everything to light. As Rhea watched her mother rule the earth, she learned rituals of how to hold the earth in its delicate place. She was our goddess of flow, ease, and generation. Rhea was given the name Mother of the Goddesses to honor her birthing the Olympians. Rhea was the goddess who was responsible for the way life flowed in the kingdom. She made sure women's menstrual cycles flowed with ease to eliminate pain and suffering. She was responsible for birthing how the water flowed. She was responsible for the milk that nourished the people. Goddess Rhea represented the swan because of her gentleness and peaceful persona.
She's like, I had enough now. You're so cute.
Rhea and Cronus had plenty of children together, but every time Rhea got to glance at their cute little babies' previous little faces, Cronus would swallow them out of jealousy, the fear that they would overpower him. He saw the happiness in her eyes when she held her babies. He saw the love that was given, and he became jealous and began to feel fear that he would lose power over the woman of his life. After her sixth child, Rhea went to her mother Gaia, the goddess of earth, to take her son Zeus, because she was fearful of losing him. Her mother understood what it felt like to lose a child, so she agreed to take Zeus and hid him so he would be safe. Goddess Gaia then took Zeus to a hidden cave underground Mount Olympus. Rhea then went to her husband and had him a stone wrapped up in cloth as a representation of their new baby boy, and without hesitation, Cronus swallowed it without even looking at it. He never knew that his baby boy was still alive. Hi, my name is Rhea, goddess of love, ease, and flow, and this is what's on my mind. Why did my husband swallow his own children? Why did he think I'd love him any less because a new baby was born? Because I'm a woman of love and compassion, I don't understand why he wouldn't want to see his children grow. I've lived a life full of sadness that I can't overcome as I see visions of my babies looking in my eyes. I want to feed them, hold them, love them, and never let them out of my sight. All I ever wanted to do was create a memory book full of you and me, but your daddy took that from me. I went to my mother and father to protect my baby from harm because I refused to let anyone harm my babies. If you have children, protect them and keep them safe from harm, because this is the goddess's way.
And so, with that being said, at the end of that paragraph, it's pretty much about each book has 6 different goddesses, and what I do is study the goddesses to death. And I bring back her in living form. And so each goddess has her own story, and for example, Rhea, her story was the fact that she felt a lot of guilt over the fact that her children were gone. And so even though she had no control over it, there was nothing she could really do about it. And so inside the story it tells you different rituals and meditations and ways to really eliminate guilt from yourself, because sometimes we're really tough on ourselves over things that we can't change, and we beat ourselves up. And this book is basically about eliminating the perceptions that keep us behind, the perceptions that make us feel that we're not good enough, or we're not enough, pretty much. And so this is what this book is all about, and it has like 30 days of meditations. Day 5, such as Reach the Light, and Skull Cap, and how to use that, and different essential oils to like really ground us as women. So this book is very, very deep actually, and it's very connecting a lot to women on different levels, regardless of be like say if you lost your kids, and you know, just say your mind was in a different space at that time, and a lot of women will carry that with them, and they will feel really bad about the fact that they could not change what happened. And it's basically all about letting go and not holding on to it, and you know, finally forgiving ourselves, because if we don't forgive ourselves, we can't really live a happy life if we don't feel good from within, right? And so this book is really, really deep, and it touches really deep to those who really want to explore those parts of themselves. So there's 6 different chapters. There's one in there as well about Aphrodite, and how she was in love with a man, and he was handicapped, and she was a hopeless romantic, and she loved to wear lingerie, and she loved to be sexy for him, but he never paid any attention to her. And so she found herself straying all over the place, trying to find what she couldn't get from him. And it describes her walk, and how people seen her as very out there and very like sexual in a way, that people thought she was like a prostitute, but she never was. She kind of fell in love with a younger man, and it describes her story and how that can help women basically not feel bad about the situations that they do, because you never know what you're going through and what leads to that situation. And so that's what this book is about. It's very, very deep. Do you guys have any questions?
So are all your books about goddesses, or that one specifically?
All of them are about
All of
goddesses, except for the Queen's Mansion Academy,
Right.
which I'm going to go to next.
Okay.
And that one is about queens like yourself.
Okay.
Whichever one you relate with, if you're a queen, where are you a queen, or are you a goddess? What do you want to be?
Oh, I guess I'd much rather be a goddess than a queen.
All right. Okay.
Goddess
Well,
to
then,
me is more spiritual and a queen is more earthly.
yeah.
That's just my gut reaction.
Yeah. And this is my most recent book.
Okay.
This one is The Queen's Mansion Academy. And I want to say thank you, by the way, for reading the book. What did you guys take out of it?
The story that we just read.
Yes.
Well, I guess I found it very tragic for both Rhea and what was the name of her husband? Cronus, yes, because her life was tragic because of her loss, and his life was tragic because he was so damaged that he would do that to his own children. So it was very tragic.
And I like that part of the book because it starts so tragic, but when you lose your kids, it is tragic. But then it has all of these different mantras and things to really help you come out of that.
That's true.
You know, because when you're stuck in something, it's hard to get out of it, is it not? We stay stuck in it and we find, you know, so many reasons why we're not good enough or we didn't do enough. And it's really hard for people to accept themselves for who they are. You know, we all make a lot of mistakes as mothers, and, you know, sometimes we feel like, oh, I wish I could have did this. Like, I did things a lot differently with my son than I did with my daughter, but I was at a much different headspace, right?
Yeah.
So I can't look back at it in reference to what I'm saying and be like, I wish I did that differently, because really it was a journey that was taking me to where I needed to be to become a better mom. Right? So the stories in the book basically lead you there step by step by step by helping you understand, which is why it has like questionnaires that tell you where you're headed. And so as I get into the Queen's Mansion Academy, this is an online school, and it is available for women who are looking to transform the way they feel about themselves. It is about loving yourself. There's a chapter in there that, because I'm a master of communication, and so there's, because I went to school to be a life coach and I studied psychology as well in 2014. And I didn't really know I was a writer until 2014, when I had a friend that said to me that you should turn what you're writing into a book. And so that's when I decided, okay, that's what I'm going to do. And with that being said, I came up with all kinds of different things. And if you look at this page, I don't know if you can see, but in here there is smoothies, as I said before, that help women ground themselves and feel better about themselves on a daily basis. You know, being on a spiritual journey isn't just so much about waking up every day and putting on makeup and feeling pretty, because pretty comes from within. If you're pretty outside but you have a bad heart, you know, or people can feel that bad vibe from you. And so I teach a lot about that. There's chapters in here about relationships and becoming closer with the person that you are with. As people, we find it hard to communicate how we feel, and a lot of times we keep everything inside and we don't want anyone to know. I know for me, until recently, when I would have issues in a relationship, I never wanted him to know. I kind of just bottled it up inside, but then there was a lot of resentment. And so when I first started writing this book, one of my friends came to me and she said, I really love your concepts on relationships and how you can transform the mind and help people. She goes, but you're missing something, right? And that's why it's good to have other people's opinions. She said, you're missing the part where, you know, women are working on themselves. And I'm like, you're right, because my first book was pretty much about relationship because I related with it so much. But this is about working on your relationship and becoming closer. It has mantras, it has scripts, it has questions where you write things down. It talks about inner growth and knowing who you are and understanding where the root of your pain comes from. Because a lot of the times we feel balanced, and then all of a sudden we just feel outraged. And a lot of times people don't understand their body to know where that rage is coming from. They just know that they're upset. They just know that something doesn't feel good. They just know that, I don't feel right, and they can't pinpoint it. Well, this book here helps you to understand exactly, to pinpoint what the root issue is, because the questions that they ask are the 4 criteria that I learned in coaching school. And I combined all the things I know and all the knowledge that I learned online and over the years. And you have it. And anybody that chooses to buy the Queen's Mansion Academy as well also receives meditations, 4 different meditations for different series in here. They also receive another complete book that's more in depth about relationships, but this is an ebook, and all of these things come with the course. And so there's a lot that you receive when you order this for yourself. I also have little tidbit samples that I've made. If you guys want to leave an email, that I could send you samples of what you would be getting and what you would be receiving. And that's
So
pretty
this
much.
book, the Queen's Mansion full module, that's the full, like that represents the full course, or?
Yes.
But
It's a piece of the course
It's a
that
piece
I
of
put in a
course.
book because I felt like, for me, if I took a course, I would want to have a book that showed me that I did that.
so
Because
if
when
we
you
sign
do
up for the
something
course, you
online-
send us that as an ebook?
Yeah, you get, no, this comes to you in the mail.
Oh, okay.
So this comes to you in the mail, you get this book.
Mhm.
And while you're waiting for this to come, you also receive meditations.
Oh, okay.
And you receive another book that is like, I think, 107 pages. And it's all kinds of different things. Like, did you ever see the TV show Fireproof? Or the movie?
No.
Okay, so my premise comes from that. It's a Christian story, and it has a relationship where they just were done. And then they found God, and they did 40 days of meditations and scripts, and then eventually they end up getting remarried after being separated, and he had someone else and she had someone else, and I just felt that, like, I have my own unique style, which is nothing like theirs because my book is not Christian, but my premise comes from that, and that's pretty much
Okay.
where it came from. And then I take, with my other books, I took the goddesses and I found their story, but this one I wanted to create something that was Queen's Mansion, because I feel like the Queen's Mansion Academy sounds grand,
Yeah, that's
right?
very
When
grand.
you're a woman and you think about the Queen's Mansion, like inside this book and inside the ebook that you would receive, it has recipes from the Queen herself. It has pictures and demonstrations of how they decorate their house and with beautiful chandeliers and stuff like that, you know, how a queen really lives, right? And so I love that concept because for me, I love decorating. So this course may not, you know, go for every woman in the world because some women are not into that.
Yeah.
But for the women that are, it would ring a bell for them. They would like what they see.
You have
So-
great titles for your books too, like the Queen's Mansion Academy, like that's a great title. Goddess Fly Away, but the other one too had a
Unfold your petals.
Unfold Your
Yeah,
Petals.
it's about
Great title.
unfolding your
Yeah,
petals. The first
yeah.
part of the book is about roses and how roses connect to women and how we unfold. It's like a rose has thorns, right? So she can be mean. She can be mean if you provoke her. But when life flourishes for her, she opens so gently and beautifully, just like a rose. And so the main gist of the story is just that. You know, accepting yourself in your rage and your anger and whatever form it is. It's okay to feel any way you want. No one can ever tell you how to feel. It's just identifying what it means to you so that you can heal that part of yourself, right? So that's basically what the book is
Yeah,
about.
great, really great titles.
Thank you.
So, do you have a card, or how?
I do.
Okay, I was thinking, okay, I think I can remember the Queen's Mansion Academy, but I thought if you have a card, then I won't have to, just in case.
Do you guys have any more questions?
No.
Okay, it's good. Definitely want to check it out.
If you want to remember me, you guys can share that one. You read it and then you let your friend read it. My name's on it as well. So you can always connect with me and remember me.
Okay, well, we actually, I mean, I can't pay for this right now because,
I never asked you to.
oh, okay, just
It's
because
yours
we
as
didn't
a
actually
gift.
come with cash thinking about that.
It's okay, it's yours as a gift.
Well, that's so very kind of you.
I'm very kind.
That's very, and
It's for you.
I do love your name too, and I like the way your friend shortened it to Vange because it's a very big name, right?
Well,
Evangeline.
the reason
It's
I
a
did that
beautiful
is
name.
because when I first started Evangeline Cain online,
Yeah.
I was just coming out of a relationship of 22 years.
Oh.
And I was very emotionally messed up.
Mm.
And so everything I wrote, right?
Mm.
And so I said to myself, okay, I'm starting over and I'm not going as Evangeline anymore. I'm coming in with a bang as Vange.
Yeah.
The new person, the new me that I am, that's totally different from the person I was. And it's cool that I got to
You're
transform.
like you were
like
a child when you started that relationship.
that. I was 15.
Yes, and I was thinking you had because you mentioned you had your daughter when you were 17 and you're about 40, so like 22 years. Well, I'm thinking, wow, you really must have been like a child. Like 15 is still a child, really, right?
I know.
In many ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you spent from like 22
My
years
whole
from
life.
that point. So like it was everything almost, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then to come out of that must have been really, really incredible experience.
It definitely was, considering when that's the only person you really know.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, and from such.
But it's okay, because that person is still my family,
Yeah.
regardless, you know?
You have your
We have
two
kids
children?
together. Yes,
Yeah.
2 kids together, so
And
it's
a really
okay.
sweet granddaughter
Yeah.
who's being really good.
She is.
She's not good.
She's being good.
hard.
She's being quiet.
She's
That's good.
She says, Nanny, hurry up so I can paint. I'm so sick of you talking. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thank
Well,
you
thank
so
you,
much.
Vange.
Yeah,
And
sorry.
thank you, ladies,
Yeah, well,
for
thank
coming all the
you.
way from Paris, Ontario.
It's not that far. It's not that
Well, actually, it's pretty far for some of my guests.
I literally
It's
thought
one
we
of
meant
our
Paris.
No,
they keep far.
Heading France? Yeah,
Like it's
yeah, that's
15,
where.
20
No.
minutes just from here, door to door, so thank you a lot.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for coming.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much for coming. I hope you'll come again.
Well, I found this online.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Facebook.
oh, excellent.
I take care of
That was wonderful.
Oh,
Nice to meet you.
Excellent. Watch the cord, please. Yes.
You smell good.
But yeah, thank you so much, and that's great to hear that you found us through online. That's
Yeah,
great.
from Facebook.
Yeah, from the
So,
events,
yeah.
so hopefully other people saw that too.
Yeah, go ahead and spread the thing about Grace Gallery in Paris. Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks. Take care.